Hello, this is Asha, teacher at nvolve Music. I don't think I've ever understood the meaning of the word busy until May 24th when our son was born. It's been an amazing, fun-filled, and at the same time a hectic 2 months. However, it feels so good to be teaching music once again, and today we'll learn the fingerstyle version of Neeyum Naanum. We'll first take a look at a cover of the song to get an idea of what we'll be learning. Just a few things to understand before we can get started with the song. Firstly, the tuning. This was arranged in a very common alto tuning called dadgad, where the 6th string is lowered a whole step to D. The 5th, 4th and the 3rd strings, they're all left as it is, your A, D and G. And then your 2nd string is again tuned down a whole step lower to A, and your 1st string is tuned down a whole step to D. When I first heard this tuning in college, I completely fell in love with it. Please explore songs in this tuning and you'll find that this is very, very, very interesting. Here is a small snippet of Andy Mackey's Drifting, which I learnt back in college. And again, this was done in the exact same dadgad tuning. Secondly, reading tabs. You might have noticed that the song is played with a capo on the 2nd fret. A capo works like a transpose on a keyboard. It helps to change the pitch easily, but today all we have to know is that when I say 0 on the 1st string, it refers to the fret the capo is on, and 1 is the 1st fret from the capo, and so on and so forth. And finally, a comment on the method of learning. After our previous tutorial on Sundari, we got some criticism that the whole process of separating melody, harmony and bass was a little too confusing and that it took a long time to learn. However, here is why we think it's necessary. I don't want you to learn music the way I learnt my math back in 12th standard. As long as I knew the question, I could arrive at an answer, but at the slightest change of the question, I would be shocked and I would be blank, and it's a miracle that I passed. Here in our context, instead of just memorizing songs as they are, if we could take the time and effort to understand the different layers of the song, over a period of time we can make our own arrangements of our favorite song instead of having to look for YouTube lessons all the time. Let's get started with the song. To make things simple, we've broken the song down into 3 separate sections. Let's get started with section 1. Now that the demo is done, we'll slow down the song to a comfortable speed so we can learn it. Pay careful attention that the melody does not start on the first count and it starts just after. Also remember to keep alternating your right hand fingers when you're playing the melody. If you play one note with your index finger, play the next one with your middle. And if you notice, there's a weird fingering going on in the left. And this is done so you can accommodate the bass notes later on. So it would be great if you can copy it as it is. And now let's add a few bass notes to the melody that we've already learned. And a very important tip here, be careful not to mute the bass notes after you played them. Let them ring out as long as they possibly can, because this is what adds beauty to the whole arrangement. This is the simplest of the three sections. Easy positions, easy timing, and you should have no problem playing this. Let's give it a shot. The bass too is pretty straightforward and you can just follow along. Section 3. This is the most challenging and at the same time the most interesting of the three sections. This uses three beautiful guitar techniques that every guitarist must know. And before we get started, I want to share a small story that Lincoln Brewster shares on one of his tutorials. It's about an engineering company which has a problem with one of its equipment and none of its engineers are able to fix it. So they hire an expert to come figure out the problem, and he spends some time with the equipment and he narrows down the problem to one small box, and he takes it and he puts a chalk mark on it. And sure enough, the engineers open it up, that's where the problem is, and they're easily able to fix it. So the expert leaves and sends them an invoice for 10,000 rupees. Being a bit pricey, the engineers ask him to itemize the bill for them so they know what they're paying for. And here is what the expert says, and this is very important. Putting the chalk mark, 1 rupee. Knowing where to put the chalk mark, 9,999 rupees. It's good to learn these techniques, but much more important than that is knowing where to use them and how to beautifully fit them in a song. Keeping this in mind, we'll go ahead and learn these techniques. If you're already comfortable playing techniques like slides, harmonics, and hammer-ons, jump a few minutes and directly go to the melody of section 3. The first of these 3 techniques is a hammer-on. It's a fairly easy technique to master. All you need is a little bit of patience. This song uses a hammer-on from the 7th fret to the 9th fret, and this is how you do it. You hold down the 7th fret, play it with your right hand, and without any more assistance from the right hand, hit the 9th fret as hard as you can. I'll do that again. Play, hit. And in the song, and that's it. The second technique is a slide. A slide can add so much beauty to the song if used the right way. And this song has a slide from the 7th fret all the way to the 12th fret. Here is how you do it. You play on the 7th fret, and without removing the pressure from the left hand, just move it to the 12th fret. I'll do that again. And that's it. And the third technique is the harmonic. This is a fascinating technique, and you get easy harmonics on the 12th fret. Here's what you do. You go to the edge of the 12th fret, just lay your finger on the string, touch it without applying any pressure, gently. And as soon as you play it, take your hand out and let it vibrate. That's a harmonic. You also get harmonics on the 7th fret and the 5th fret, but it gets harder on the 7th and the 5th fret, especially if you have a cheap guitar. And that's a harmonic. This song uses a harmonic here. And that's it. And when you're comfortable with these techniques, we can go ahead and start learning the third section. The melody in this section uses all the techniques that we've just learned. Let's try it really slowly. The melody in itself is very filling, so we add minimal bass in this section, just a few notes here and there. Just follow along. And that is the end of the lesson. We really hope that the lesson was useful, and if it was, please do subscribe to our channel and do like our videos. Also, if you have any feedback to share with us, please do post in the comment section. If you wish to have very detailed tabs for this song, please do send us a mail at nvolve.musicacademy@gmail.com, or even if you have any general enquiries or doubt, please do mail us. Don't forget to check out the Monoke app. I had the privilege of meeting the people who make music for the app, and they are such great musicians, and the app has tons of songs, Tamil songs, Bollywood songs, name it, they have it. And even if they don't have it, you can raise a song request and they'll get it done for you. It's a great app to learn from, and don't miss out. We're extremely sorry for the delay in online classes. It was completely unexpected. We're still working to get things done, and as soon as we're ready, we'll start our online classes. And thank you very much. Have a great day.